What the fuck is up, everybody? Hello, how are you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a video response to what xJawz recently put out on Twitter and his YouTube channel. And you may be saying, why the fuck are you doing that? And part of you may be saying, wow, he's just doing this for views. And I'll admit that 5% of my personality definitely is saying, okay, he's a big YouTuber, a lot of followers on Twitter, let's capitalize on that. The other 95% of me is saying, okay, despite how blurry the message is, what he's saying is really powerful, and the ideas that he's presenting are powerful. And gaming YouTubers, from my understanding, typically do not talk about philosophy. Not many of them do. So to see someone like xJawz doing that, I think is super inspiring and empowering. So I wouldn't shoot the messenger just because, you know, he came off a little weird. Let's be real here. I mean, Moses had a stutter. So, you know, I think it's forgivable that he might have had a weird message or he might have sounded a little off. Whether he was doing drugs or not is really no one's business. So, let's break down the ideas. Alright, what did he really talk about? And I'm going to try and convey the most positive messages I possibly can, and I'm going to try to give you my interpretation of what xJawz said. First thing that he talked about was the power of social media. And he is 100% on the money, in my opinion. A perfect example, if you don't believe me, look at Egypt. Egypt had a revolution that started off of Facebook. Facebook, motherfuckers, Facebook. That's craziness. How does a revolution start off of social media websites? 30 years ago, you wouldn't have even been able to describe that concept to someone. So let me get this straight. They sit down and they stare at a screen and a whole population forms a revolution around that. I mean, that idea in and of itself is just nuts. And it happened. Also, the ability to broadcast your message as an individual and have other people form up around that idea and be like, yeah, you know what he's talking about I agree with, or what she's talking about I agree with. That's powerful. And 20 years ago, he talked about what happened, you know, what was going on in the 1980s. In the 1980s, if I had an opinion and I wanted to express myself and I wanted to get a message across to people, I had to be in the newspaper or on television, or I had to have some serious influence in politics. Besides that, what could you really do? You could go to your quote-unquote local watering hole, you could go to the job, you could go to school, you could discuss it amongst your peers wherever you want. That doesn't do anything. Today, all I have to do is hit record. And then I can talk about something that's meaningful to me, and then maybe you guys will say, yeah, I believe in that same message. And I think that's the point he was trying to make. Also, the idea that someone can make a living just being themselves is almost unheard of. Yeah, you know, you have this new celebrity stardom and people are like, oh, I love this person and they're so amazing and blah, blah, blah. They're famous because of a talent that they have. With this whole YouTube generation, you have people who are just talking about stuff. And they might not even be good at speaking, or might not have the best verbal communicative skills. But it doesn't matter, because people can really join up with the idea. And again, I think that's really inspiring. And we've never had that before. We live in an information age where you are being bombarded 24/7 with news clippings, with, you know, the war, with what's going on with Rihanna, what's going on with Kim Kardashian, you know, oh, what's going on with the government, with whatever. And it's all coming at you in like 15-second news clips or 50-minute news clips or, you know, montages or whatever. I mean, it's just, there's too much. There's too much information. It's gotten to the point where you could go on the internet and you could say, okay, I believe in this, let me do some research. And you will find a body of information that completely supports your theory. And then you can say, okay, well, let's see, you know, what the people are that disagree with me. What do they think? And you will find a whole body of knowledge that agrees with them. So you can have two very conflicting points of view that all have tons of research and tons of backed up information that coincide with that. It's holy, what the fuck? Holy shit. That's crazy. Now, he said something that I think people, I don't know, maybe you guys just didn't hear him properly, but he said that our world today is training people to be more ADD. And I think he's right. Because of what I just said. There's so much information bombarding you that it's hard to all of a sudden be super focused on a task or a goal. If you want to be informed about what's going on today, you got to be all over the place. And on top of that, ADD and ADHD, it's almost, I've heard quite a few people who say it's a made-up term because a lot of kids don't need it. And he's talking about how kids don't need, this, Adderall medication because, they're kids. And I agree with him. Kids are kids. They want to run around. They want to do whatever the fuck they want to do. To expect a little kid to sit in a chair for like 8 hours a day, get the fuck out of here, man. How crazy are you to think that a little kid would want to do that? That's not natural. And drugging them to get them into that state is fucked up. So I agree. Even marijuana, much more harmless drug than Adderall, right? No one's ever died from a marijuana overdose. You're not supposed to smoke it until you're 17 when your brain's at least fully developed. And kids are getting Adderall, which is classified as the same addictive quality as cocaine. What the fuck? Are you serious? And he's talking about how he wants to go after the healthcare industry. And that's where I'm going to have to draw the line. That's where I'm going to have to say, sorry, I disagree. I disagree that we need to take down the healthcare industry. I agree that big pharmaceutical companies are overreaching their bounds and that too much emphasis is being placed onto pharmaceutical drugs like antidepressants. Let's be real here. How many people do you know are on antidepressants? I know a lot. And I can tell you right now, at least 75% of the people that I know that are on them should not be on them. There's no need for them to be on those drugs. Now, I'm not trying to take away from the fact that there are people with legitimate chemical imbalances in their head. And they definitely need those drugs. But I can tell you right now, a lot of people do not. A lot of people just don't need them. You're supposed to be sad at times. You're supposed to mourn. You're supposed to feel the whole gamut of emotions. And that's what makes you a fucking human being. You're supposed to be happy and you're supposed to be sad. The best thing, in my opinion, that you can do is to remember the highs when you're going through the lows. And other than that, you don't need a medication to fucking, just be medium the whole time and not feel the amazing highs and the really low lows. Why do you... It's just silliness to me. So, tell me what you guys think. I know that he was kind of all over the place, and truthfully, I would suspect that he might be on something, but I don't know. I truthfully don't know. And it's not my place to really judge, even though I guess I kind of just did. I know that the message that he was putting forth is powerful. And I know that when I see a gaming YouTuber who's doing that, I want to support him 100%. Because at the moment, I feel alone in the herd. I'm talking about ideas and philosophy. And the whole reason that I'm doing this is because I haven't seen any other gaming YouTuber do that. So to see someone like xJawz do that, despite what you guys may think of him, and despite what I personally think of him, I don't have anything against him. I don't know him, so I can't judge him. But I can't say, oh, he's such an awful person. I just don't know the dude. It's not my place to judge. Anyway, I hope I got my point across, and I hope that brings some clarity to the situation. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and again, don't shoot the messenger just because the message is really powerful. Again, peace! Have a good day, everybody, and I'll talk to you later.